In this video, I'm going to run you through my entire process for filling SEO roles. So if you're hiring SEOs today based on traffic growth, keyword rankings, backlink audits alone, you're going to fall behind. I don't think that's news to you. Google traffic is down, the old playbook is broken, and AI is reshaping the entire buyer's journey. So if your SEO team doesn't understand how to operate in this new environment, you're not going to just be inefficient, you're going to be invisible. So I'm going to take you through my process. This process has been used to successfully hire hundreds of employees across 100 plus companies. So we work with all the way up from startup all the way up to Fortune 500s. So if you've been trying to hire for SEO but keep ending up with the wrong fit, bad applicants, or you're just stressed because of the whole thing, this video is to help you, and I'll put an end to that. So by the end of this video, you'll basically understand our step-for-step process that's responsible for basically hiring some of the best and the most successful SEOs in the world. So we're going to get into more about job descriptions, salaries, and everything. But first of all, I just want to kind of go into the vetting process. I think that's the most important bit at the minute. Myself and my team, we're updating our vetting process probably every month at the minute, and it's the only way that we're going to be able to basically find the best SEOs. So I'm just going to basically share a bit about what we're doing on that front. So first of all, how to vet SEOs in an AI first marketing era. So a few things that we the first topic that we go over is we kind of want to see what their worldview is. Do they basically see the big shift that's happening right now? So a good candidate should already be talking about things like why less traffic is coming from Google and what that actually means, how awareness is getting easier through things like AI, video, influencers, but clicks are getting even harder. The prediction that I think it's like something like 95% of B2B buyers' journeys will start with LLMs in the next 2 years. And probably one of the most important bit is the fact that most marketing organizations, they still don't know what's working and how AI could finally fix that attribution gap. So we need to find people that have kind of figured out this and they see the shift on that, and they're actually putting in and implementing skills and research and experimenting so they're actually able to move with this tide. And obviously a red flag in this, if they're not tuned into this and they're not interested and they're still, just talking about blog posts or backlinks or whatever it is, they're probably not the right candidate for you. So the second kind of topic that we want to talk about is dig into how they build moats. And what I mean is, in a world where everyone has access to, ChatGPT, all these AI tools, differentiation is everything. So again, one of our clients, they wanted somebody that was really, really big on AI. And they found that when they were doing their own interviews, if they said, what are you using AI for? And they brought in some, this is what we're doing with ChatGPT. If they were to go 3 questions deeper on what they were doing, they basically come back and figure out that the person is actually doing really, really basic tasks. And as you guys know, in SEO, you need to be doing some really, really deep research with AI to kind of stand out. So you want to be able to hear things like, we prioritize speed of learning, not just speed of output. We use learning loops to test and evolve content faster than our competitors. Our edge is data quality, and we build proprietary data sets, not just dashboards. Product is marketing. So SEO helps shape UX and features positioning now. We think in brand and taste. So keywords matter, but resonance wins. You're not just hiring for ranking skills anymore. You're hiring for strategic output. And the third thing that we want to be, figuring out with these SEO candidates is we want to be testing for fluency in the new 4 steps of marketing. So this is kind of the way that myself and the team have put it. So the old model was research, write, publish, and then wait. And what we've kind of figured out is the new model is create, personalize, activate, and then iterate. So we want to be, talking and working with candidates who can move fast on tools with like OpenAI, Canva, HubSpot, Claude, whatever it is they're actually using. And again, that we can ask more than 3 questions and they can give real examples of what they're doing with that. We want to be talking with candidates who can run content through a synthetic audience before publishing it live. They know how to personalize content one-to-one, not just one-to-many. And they understand the limits of traditional distribution. So, especially in B2B where Google, LinkedIn, and emails, they're kind of losing ground. So we need somebody that's really specialized within that. And we need somebody that can thrive in rapid, high evolution campaigns where the feedback loop drives version 2 and 3, not just on, publishing it and just hoping from gut instinct that it works. So we need to be asking things about how they actually shipped and how they actually learned from this, and not just, if they've just gone and published something. So the fourth topic is we need to be looking for the new skill set barbell. So what does that actually mean? So modern SEOs fall into two extremes. At least this is what we found. So we've talked to thousands of SEOs over the last nearly 4 years, and we've got some SEOs on one side. So they're kind of like the creatives, sharp ideas, viral instincts, brand first thinking, and like high taste. And then on the other side, you've kind of got like the engineer thinkers. So the system minds, the automation heavy workflows, obsession with deploying AI at scale. And ideally, if you can find both of them and bridge them together, you need to do everything you can to keep that person. Because as I said, we're kind of finding people, are in one side or the other side, but that's kind of what companies want right now. And that's what SEOs need to be developing their skills towards, is can they bridge those together and become that person that has both of those skill sets. And just the last kind of things before we move on from the vetting process is kind of like bonus traits that matter are, a lot of companies look at years of experience that, in my opinion and my team's opinion, it doesn't always matter. Like it's not something you guys should be looking for. So, things like curiosity over credentials. So are they studying the shift or pretending it's not happening? Big green flag, big red flag. You choose which one you want to hire. Generalist fluency. So can they connect SEO, brand, product, and AI and distribution all together? If they can, fantastic. Self-sufficiency within AI tools is like a massive one. So are they hands-on marketers, or are they kind of like software admins? And then that next one is internet native instincts. Do they live online, or are they just working online, which is a big one for us. Okay, so now in terms of hiring, we're going to go back to basics. What do we need to do first? Well, we need to get the job description ready. And a lot of people just think that you should just go to ChatGPT, or, you've got the title of the role, you've got maybe the salary estimation. Just go to ChatGPT and just see what it spins out. What I recommend to our clients is sit down with your leadership team and really, really figure out, right, what do we need this person to do? Where are we lacking? Do an internal skills assessment within your team or the department that you're putting this person into. And the reason I say this is the amount of times that we'll be on client calls and we've signed a client. It could be an SEO manager with X amount of experience. They think they know everything that they want from this person. And the more that we actually talk to this person, the role could change, the requirements, the responsibilities can change in less than a 30-minute call. So if you sit down with your leadership team, you properly plan this out. It just means you've got a bulletproof, strong foundation. And of course, the next thing is salaries. Salaries are a big thing that I could talk about for ages. One of my companies, salaryguide.com, this is the fixed salary transparency. So if you don't know what to pay your employee, or maybe you're on the employee side, you don't know what your market value is, go to salaryguide.com. You'll find loads of data in there to help with this. So obviously, next thing comes to sourcing candidates. So for us, I think we've got a CRM system with like 54,000 SEOs. Of course, they're not all waiting there for a job. That's been built up after, we do a lot of marketing. We're one of the only headhunting agencies in the world that specialize solely in SEO. So we built that up over about 4 years. But for you, hopefully you've got a decent personal brand within the industry. Hopefully you've got a network. Maybe you can ask for referrals. So start reaching out to people. I always say that if you go and talk to some of the most well-respected people in the industry that you've got a connection with, they're able to recommend somebody. I'm kind of joking about skipping the vetting process, but you nearly could just skip the vetting process and just make sure that they're like aligned chemistry with your company. Because referral with somebody that you deeply respect, I think, is just it holds its weight in gold. So yeah, so go through social media, and then obviously what we do is headhunting. So that's what I would specifically recommend, is just go figure out what your perfect avatar is. Find out everything you can about what you want this person to do, and just go think about it. Where will they hang out? Go find them that way. And obviously the third section of this is how do you vet candidates. So screening processes kind of mentioned above about how we want to find AI native SEOs, and we've got an industry-backed vetting process that we put everybody through. I'm sure you've got your own vetting process, but again, we need to be also test them culturally, because you could put somebody in that's got that 10 out of 10 SEO ability, or even all the AI stuff that I said before. They've got all of that, but you put them into a team. Let's say you're a 100-person digital marketing agency. You put them in and they don't fit culturally. They don't get on with their direct report. They don't get on with their colleagues. They're going to be out the door in less than 3 months. And we've seen this happen, not through our clients, but we hear about it all the time. So it's so important to get the culture and soft skills assessments, and maybe even DISC personality tests, just to figure out, okay, we've got the SEO skills, we've got what we want. Let's put them in and make sure that they fit in culturally as well. And another little tip here as well, if you're a hiring manager, or if you get sign off from your hires, if you're going and doing that first candidate call, put together like a trophy case for this candidate to present. You don't want to just send a CV and a LinkedIn URL. You want to like go over maybe some of the questions that you've answered or that you've asked with the candidate, what they asked well. Bring in an AI note taker just so that you can summarize all of this. So again, so that's kind of how you find the ideal SEO candidate. I always think that a lot of agencies, companies, clients, hiring managers thinks that it ends when you get the right person in the seat and you put out a job offer. One bit of advice I'd really like to give is see those candidates that are in the final stages or they've made it to the first or second stage. Make sure you give them adequate feedback. I don't just mean, look, we were really impressed with you. We think that you'd maybe be good down the line, but for this, we're not moving forward with you. That's not enough. Like maybe just because I'm pretty ruthless and I love criticism. Yeah, I don't want to say I thrive on it because it's a bit cringy, but I really, really do. Like, tell me what I did wrong and what I could improve on so that, maybe I don't want to apply for you in the future. Maybe I can go take it somewhere else or, giving the actual feedback for somebody to improve. A lot of people just kind of like, they don't do it. But I promise you, if you do that, one, that candidate will think so much more of your company. They'll think so much more of your hiring process and they'll put you guys as the gold standard and they'll want to apply with you again. So make sure you put out good feedback. The next thing is a lot of people think it ends when you put the offer out. I promise you it doesn't. We literally have it in all of our contracts that we offer everything from offer stage, so like salary negotiations, everything. And the reason that we do that is because we've just found that a lot of our candidates and clients, they can just go back and forth. They can go look up a YouTube video on how to do salary negotiation. It's completely different to their etiquette and their style of communication that they've done throughout the whole interview process. They can come across cocky. They can come across arrogant. We've had so many offers pulled last minute. So we've literally put it into our contract. We are the middlemen. We are masters in negotiating. So like we can like help both parties put them together. And obviously, if we're not going to work with you, the way that you can get around this is just like make sure from the start and that once you put out the offer, it's not done just there. Yeah, just be as open and supportive as you can the whole way through instead of just thinking, okay, cool, we're going to offer this, throw it out and just hope that it sticks. You got this far, don't throw it away with just the offer stage. And again, it's something like we offer a 1-year satisfaction on all placements. So if that person leaves 11 and a half months in, we'll replace that person free of charge. And the reason that we do that is in 4 years, we've only ever had to do one replacement. And literally because of all the vetting process that I told you about this and just making sure that every step of the way is as pristine. And I can't be perfected because everything's changing like all the time, but we try and do as much as we can on that. So if you're hiring in 2025 and you need SEOs for less content farm managers and more AI native strategists that are just going to boost your bottom line, it's not about replacing those old skills, it's about evolving them. So we need to be asking deeper questions. We need to be hiring the ones that are already playing the new game. And the next era of growth belongs to the ones who adapt the fastest. And that's what we're seeing right now. It's a weird time out there. I think everybody can kind of see what's going on. So, those ones that are adapting they're just going to be the ones. So if you're looking for a absolute A player, SEO, paid media specialist, or anything in that round, please, there's a link in the description below where you can book a call directly in with me and myself and the team. And we can go through, it doesn't have to be a sales pitch. We can go through strategy. We can see, if we're able to implement any of the stuff I've talked about on this. Maybe there's one section that you're really lacking on, or maybe that you could do with advice on. Book in below, and I'd love to have a chat with you.